everybody in Facebook land. It is that, it's a special time of day, and I got a special guest with us today. You've got the one and only Donny O'Malley, VetTv, CEO, founder, once CEO, new CEO.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
No, none of that juju being passed around here. I don't want that responsibility either.
Hell no.
How you doing, man? What's new and exciting?
I'm doing great. Fucking super busy. Creating a bunch of awesome stuff. Got new products coming out. Been spending a lot of time outside, fucking playing on the skateboard and the surfboard and the bike and all that shit. Hawaii, snowboarding a lot. Good times, man.
Nice. I saw the trip to Hawaii for Irreverent Warriors.
Oh my God.
That was the one I wanted to go to so bad. It slipped through my fingertips.
Yeah, no worries. It was an incredible event, but we followed the Hawaii laws to the T.
Yeah.
And so we broke up into groups of 10, and then we released the groups with a couple 5 minutes of distance of time between each group stepping off. So you got your group of 10 and you stayed with them for the rest of the day. It wasn't this, 200 people together.
Yeah. And so how are the COVID rules in Hawaii? Are they much stricter than, say, California?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely are.
You know what we don't have to worry about here in Texas?
Masks.
Stinking rules. We don't follow those stinking rules here in Texas.
I envy Texas every day.
Well,
not every day, some days.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. I would give to live in San Diego and have that nice moderate 85-degree weather all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're living the life, my friend, and you got a great team. You got some really great products coming down the line. They're going to be featured on VetTv's app and the SVOD there. Tell me. I'm really interested to know, and I'm sure people out there, are interested as well. During COVID, like how much of COVID, slowed down your guys' tempo to produce and get product out. And now, as things are starting to come back, like there's this slew of new product and the catalog additions that are being made. Like, was that done? How did you have to get around certain rules? Like, how did you get about putting this all together? Because as we know, Hollywood has been suffering, tremendously. And here you guys are, you're looking at nearly a dozen plus products that you guys are going to be releasing here soon. And you found the will, you found the way.
Well, I would argue that Hollywood's been suffering from moral deficiencies for decades. That place has always been suffering from lack of soul.
Yeah.
So COVID, truth be told, has been just beating our ass guts in since it happened. And more specifically, it killed our ability to make our big shows.
Yeah.
Right? Like the shows that the business was built on, we haven't been able to make those types of shows because we can't get large groups of people together and put them in our sets. And even in the few instances when like we would technically have been allowed to make it happen, sometimes an actor would cancel and they'd say, "I'm very sorry, but I can't show up. Like I'm going home to take care of my mom, or I'm escaping California, and I have asthma. I don't want to die, so I'm fucking going to Oklahoma." And it's like, yeah, we get it. We gotta, respect everyone's own, wishes and fears and whatnot. So what it's done is it made us have to rewrite a bunch of shit and just come up with new things and things that did not require as many people on set. And that's what have done for the last entire year.
Yeah.
And so we're finally releasing in June. We're finally May, releasing a show that is big budget, has a big cast, that is a long form scripted narrative show, and that's called V for Valor, which we've been dying to have a show like this for so fucking long. It's ridiculous. And the show is a satire of the military award system.
Right.
So it's hitting on something that every one of us is. It doesn't matter your fucking MOS, whether you're a grunt or admin. Like at some point, you watch someone get an award and be like, "You're like, really?
Fucking Johnson?
Yeah,
fuck that guy.
How the fuck does he get a NAM? You know, like my buddy just got a fucking NAM for taking over the squad as a fucking as an FO when the fucking squad leader and the first team leader both popped IEDs. He took over the squad, called Kazovac, directed fucking counterattack, and then led the patrol home. And he got a NAM. And this guy got a NAM for like fucking filling some prescriptions for fucking 6 weeks. What?
Yeah, the conundrum of military life. Yeah. I would have to imagine that, you know, the Marine Corps has its own beautiful stories there that can, you know, that everybody can really relate with. And then you got the Army side, to where I would imagine the Marines would be like, how in the fuck does that even exist? Because I've personally seen some things, you know, as I've gone around the country and been invited to Army bases and Army functions, you know, and I've seen awards being given out. I'm looking around, I'm like, this on Archon for this?
Yeah.
What's going on here, guys?
Or you just read the body language of the people in the formation. And you're like, it's like looking at down them covering the line. Like, these guys don't look stoked about this medal.
Right.
They're not proud.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's fantastic. So is this an 8-episode span series?
I wish it was 8. It's 6 episodes.
Okay, 6. Nice.
6-episode series, and it's brilliant because each episode is from the perspective of either the combat camera guy, who's not everywhere. You know, it's they're doing basically a cordon and a knock,
right?
And so they've got the outer perimeter of security, the outer cordon, the inner cordon, and then the element that's meeting with the elders of the village. And so you're seeing, you know, from the GoPros of the sniper team, the GoPros of the mortar team.
Oh, nice.
And the combat cameras, DSLR. And then the A&A guys have a camera because they want to get to America. And they're excited to help the Americans, and all kinds of fucking crazy shit goes on that is very, very, that all of us have experienced.
Right.
Like these small little, go ahead.
Tell me that there is one episode where they find later, after the award was given to the officer, they find a video that was taken by the Taliban or Al Qaeda or whatever that totally tells a different story.
Okay, I don't want to give away too much, but let me just say that there's a handful of instances when there's an adjutant who's reviewing the footage.
Right.
And that guy, oh my God, the adjutant is played by fucking Donut Operator.
No way. That's great. All right.
Yes.
All right. Now you got some good teasing happening.
Okay. And so as the adjutant is reviewing the footage, he keeps seeing things where he's like, wait a second. That doesn't match the award or the write-up. What the fuck? And then he watches more. And so we keep revealing what actually happened in the battle. And the adjutant the whole time is just like, what the fuck is going on? And so I'm not going to give away the reveals, but it's one of the most brilliant things we've ever written. I'm very, very excited for it. Very proud of it. Jessica Mandala, John Forsyth, Matthias Kinker, and Josh Flanagan, Army Grunt. They wrote it. Jessica's going to be directing it with Josh and Matthias.
That's fantastic. It's a solid crew, and you know, Jessica her work on Ton Tavern was fantastic, beyond professional. So she'll do a great job there. That's great. Who are some of the other people, if you don't mind, like maybe a little more tease on some of the actors that maybe people at home would know who they are that's going to be in the show?
The only one that I know for sure has been locked in casting that a larger audience might know is Donut Operator.
Okay.
But he might be recruiting some of his friends to also join in. I don't know. Just know that it's an option.
Nice.
And so, yeah, so donut operator is the only one that I'm aware of. I wanted the role of the adjutant.
Yeah.
And I wanted to audition for it, but I'm the one who recommended that it be a first lieutenant. And they were looking at me, even fresh off my Botox, and they're looking at me and they're like, I don't know if you should be, if it's worth auditioning for this. I'm like, I just fucking took care of all this shit. Are you sure?
All this work. Come on, guys.
I just blew $400 for what?
I love the fact that you have to audition for roles in your own business too.
Yeah. Well, as a filmmaker, I would never want someone to just get something without auditioning, not even me.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So over the course of last few months, if you have made some purchases through Grunt Style of the military licensed gear, you've gotten a free subscription to VetTv, and you'll be able to see all of these shows. You at the end of the month here, you've got Tactical Operations Center that's going to be premiering. Is that tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so check this out. Tactical Operations Center is a show that's based in Fob Kalsu, which was in
I know Kalsu.
southern. You remember Kalsu?
Yeah, we worked under them when we were in the Triangle. Yep. Down at what was that 20 Alpha? Was the
I remember. Is that the sector?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a nice little place. I mean, they had the greatest chow hall in our area of operations.
Nice. Okay, so it was written by a guy who served in the TOC, the Tactical Operations Center, as an IT specialist at Fob Kalsu.
Okay.
He's now a filmmaker and a comedian, and the show was written by him and myself, and it shows all of the fucking hilarious and ridiculous things that go on both inside the TOC and then outside on mission and on base. But the TOC is like the hub for all the things that go on. And we had a bunch of our new actors who I don't think anyone has, unless you follow us on TikTok, right? These guys are really prevalent on our TikTok. And they are so fucking funny. And the shit that goes on, like having to go kill dogs, and like this kid's fucking wrecked. His soul is wrecked. He had to smoke like 8 dogs. And they come back to haunt him when he's smoking spice. He's trying to forget the dogs with smoking spice, and he starts hallucinating, and the dogs come back, and guys go out for a long mission. And this lieutenant, played by August Danahas he's actually from We Are the Mighty. Dude is so fucking funny. And he plays this lieutenant who's the most obnoxious motherfucker you've ever met. And he's this total like kind of frat bro who thinks he's the shit. He's really witty. And he's always just kind of reminding people to positive ID and hostile intent. We're here to help the people. Fucking, I don't care if they're shooting at you. Don't shoot back. Slow down. Don't make any more collateral damage. And deep down, he doesn't give a fuck, but he's just got to repeat the shit because that's what his BC is telling him.
Right.
And everyone can't fucking stand him. We got a first sergeant that gets caught fucking a transvestite in
Iraq.
in Iraq in a prostitution tent.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yes, and it's all true stories. Every one of them.
Yeah. There was when I remember being in Iraq 0405. We had just got to Camp Liberty. We were ripping out 2-2, and they had just busted this massive prostitution ring that was being led by a fucking army major, and had probably like 20, 30 girls just working the entire Camp Liberty. I was like, what? Where is this, Vietnam? What the fuck what kind of war are we in here, boys?
You know what? The entrepreneurial spirit that exists in the fucking military that pops up out every now and then is truly fucking inspiring, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
But
if there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, I've heard of these prostitution rings. They're all on Navy ships. They're on bases. But I never had any personal experience with it. And I feel like I fucking missed out so bad.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like, I'm remembering the tempo of work that I had. Like, when the hell did anybody ever have the time?
Well, I mean, just think for some of the non-grunts that they're living on base and their job is not that intense, they have nothing but time.
Yeah, true.
So these chicks just like, what do we do with our time? Well, we're horny. Well, we've been fucking these guys anyways. Let's make a couple bucks while we do it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, unreal. Yeah. Well, that's quite fantastic. One thing I will also say about Camp Kalsu is they had the best near beer in all of Iraq.
Near beer.
Yeah, so it's like the the stuff you would drink if you're an alcoholic, right? That tastes like beer but has no of the illicit factors.
Huh. Interesting. I think I've heard the term near beer, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we call it. I'm sure there was other colloquialisms of it that existed in the country, but the first time we all saw it, we're like, raid the chow hall, bring it, grab as many as you can. And it tastes like shit.
Oh my God, I could see a bunch of grunts raiding a bunch of fucking non-alcoholic beer, and they're like, spraying it.
Yeah. You have just captured exactly what it was.
Let's get fucked up. These guys are fucking chugging it. They're like, fucking get it in there, bro. Get it. Chug.
Right. I mean, what do you expect when you got a bunch of 19-year-old, are depraved of everything but the most incredible sensory stress, right? And there's no release. You add some near beer to the factor, and they all just go ape shit.
I love it.
So there you go. Talking top Technical Operations Center. And I would imagine there's like a lot of drama. You're capturing all the drama of the shift changes and things of that nature.
Yeah. So there's one scene where, it's all built around drama, but we just obviously tried to make it funny.
Yeah.
Like after Scott kills the dogs, the lieutenant comes and fucks with him up until, actually, I don't want to give that away, but there's another scene where the guys are on post and they're falling asleep and they're trying to use fucking Jack 3D, which was real big at the time to go nuts. And then they fucking fall asleep. Like they ride a high for the first 4 hours of post. And then on the back end, they crash and they fall asleep and they blast their rifles and they both just start shooting. And then it's, the talk is like, hey, what's going on out there? They're like, what were you shooting at? Like talking to each other. And he's I don't know. What were you shooting at? And he's like, you shot first. And the guy shot because he fell asleep like this. And they pulled the trigger. And so it's like that conversation between them and then the lies that they tell to the fucking COC. It's just fucking gold. I'm trying to think of what else. I was just coming off talking about another show before this call, so my mind isn't at the talk. So there's the sex thing. Oh, there was a fucking first sergeant that took him on formation runs on the FOB, and they had like every week they'd get shelled without fucking hesitate. They were being shelled. And they're going on formation runs, and then he's got them exercising in formation, doing jumping jacks and shit. And they're just like, what the fuck is going on here? This is the stupidest fucking thing we've ever done. And so they want to get back at him really bad. And then they come back in from missions and they're pissed off. And, the grunts come back in, they want to kill everyone in the talk. And just every scene, it started from a place of truth, and we're just like, okay, how do we take this next level to make this thing funny as fuck and like kind of make it? Wouldn't it be funny if, or we just kind of gave the audience what they would want to happen,
right,
in real life situations? Because the reality was, for a lot of it was just fucking miserable.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of the product that VetTv puts out is that they're absolutely relatable circumstances and situations. And even though there is that part where it takes it a little bit further, it's not a hard jump, right? Because you take yourself back. If you've been in those situations, you're like, Yeah, fuck, I totally would have done that if I. Now I'm thinking back
Yes.
on it a couple of years later, right?
Yeah.
And I had this similar thing, in Yusufia. We had the FOB mayor and old salty, crusty NCO, staff NCO gunny guy. And all he did was walk around with his shotgun, and the dog would run around that burn pit, boom, just with no remorse, right? And I'm like, okay. And that's all his job was. Like, hey boys, he can come and shoot the shit with you for a few minutes with a shotgun on his shoulder, and he's just like, all right, I'm out and go find more dogs. That was his entire job.
Oh my God, that is so fucking funny.
So yeah, that's what I appreciate about the project you guys put together. Because there's not one episode of anything you guys put together that I've sat there and said, that's a little much. I've actually been on the side where like, I know a situation, or I've experienced a situation, or I've seen a situation, almost similar to almost everything you guys put out, and that's why I appreciate it so much.
Well, thank you. I really want to do something with that scene of the gunny. Now, it's not a scene; it's a recurring character.
Yeah. Well, next time I come and see you, I'm bringing the book. This is my entire deployment.
Journals.
The unadulterated, raw fucking from the mind of Tim Jensen during fucking 2-2 Triangle of Death.
You know what we got to talk about is turning that into a movie.
It'd be pretty interesting. It'd be pretty interesting. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit we got ourselves into. a lot of. I think it would meet the first barrier of your needs for a show.
Yeah. Honestly, that's what we got to do is indulge some substance. You have your substance, I'll have mine, and then go through that and just talk about what would a show about it look like, or a movie about it look like, and build towards something like that in the future.
Yeah, one thing that we should do is thinking along those lines. You and I should go do some ayahuasca or what?
Ayahuasca?
Yeah, we should go. Oh. We should go try that. Film the entire experience and cut it into like a mockumentary and put that out in the world. That I think would be quite interesting.
Tim, I'm very, very down for that. I didn't know how open you were going to be about that shit. I'm very open about my drug usage. Very open.
Yeah. The more and more I study about alternative therapies for the veteran community, the psilocybins, the ayahuascas, all the stem cell research that's being done, like these all have these incredible effects. For people with PTSD, TBI, and a lot of the things that our consumers, both yours and ours, struggle with on a day-to-day basis. And I'm interested to know more. I'm interested to experience something along those lines, and I think it would be a lot of fun to kind of document it all and share the experiences with the world, and saying, hey, this is how we tried it, we did it. Here's our experience on it. It may not be the same for you, but here's what it looks like. Because I haven't seen anything like that.
Okay. I am so fucking down. Let me share something with you here. You have no idea how excited this made me, because one of the things that I thought about pretty recently, I want to say in the last month, was that one day I would like to document an experience using mushrooms to help veterans get through anxiety and PTSD, and to help them acknowledge themselves and their experiences and their past and find some sort of peace.
Yeah.
A year ago, actually pre-COVID, a friend of mine, and I won't mention his name, but he's an entrepreneur and very successful. And he said that I told him that I was having issues with anxiety back then, right, over a little over a year ago. And he said, oh, that's interesting, because he said, I was having issues with anxiety, mostly with my child. My child was She was a teenager, and he said, I couldn't fucking stand her. He said that his relationship with his daughter was suffering in a fucking in a bad way.
Yeah.
He said she was a good kid. She really didn't do anything wrong. She was just being a teenage girl.
Right.
And he said that back then it fucking irked him and he couldn't stand to be around her. So he had to constantly remove himself because their relationship was suffering. Yeah. He told that to one of his friends, and his friend said, you should try microdosing mushrooms. And he said, research it. So he researched what microdosing is, and it's very specific. You have to weigh. You don't ingest anything without weighing it.
Right.
And he microdosed, I think, for 1 month. And so the microdosing program is like you do it for, I think it's every other day.
Okay.
Don't take it every day. And he said that it completely changed his personality and his relationship with his daughter and with all the people in life, because what he learned through that 1 month of microdosing was this crazy thing. I know this is going to blow everyone's mind. This crazy thing called empathy. Right. And compassion.
Right.
Which we don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming out of the military. Some of us don't have it, period. You know, if your parents didn't have it, you're probably not going to have it. Marine Corps is full of fucking, people running from neglect and abuse. So empathy is probably, at a loss. Then you go into the Marine Corps, especially the infantry, especially combat, and like, you don't know how to actually acknowledge another person's feelings, let alone give a fuck about it.
Right, right.
And that's empathy. And so he said that he learned this crazy thing called empathy, and it completely changed his life and the relationships with all the people around him. Yeah. So he told me that, and I thought, wow, that's powerful, because I've been told by some people around me that I lack empathy. Let me try that. And so I've been microdosing for like a year on the weekends.
Okay.
I don't take it during the week, just the weekends, and not all of them, but a lot of them. And it has made a complete fucking change to the way that I approach other people. Really? And the way that I engage with them. It's fucking incredible. And I want to take what I've learned and share it with others in a healthy and a very disciplined, regimented, safe way, and allow others to feel the benefits from it. And I've actually seen, there are some documentaries that have veterans who have been through some of these programs using, I think, psilocybin and MDMA.
Yeah, yeah.
And these veterans are saying like, yo, I went to Iraq 3 times. I tried every fucking treatment in the books. The VA had me on 12 different fucking medications at once. And I was mentally, I was completely just a wreck. And then they tried a couple sessions of, I don't remember if it's psilocybin or MDMA. And they said they've never been the same. It opened up their mind to a part of themselves that they hadn't really acknowledged. And then what do you know? They're no longer a drunk asshole.
Right. And they can maintain relationships.
Yes. And then once you have the relationships, you don't want to kill yourself anymore.
Right, right.
Because when your relationships disappear, when you're not actually feeling connected to another human being, you feel alone.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you're alone, suicide is a way fucking more suitable option when you feel alone.
Yeah, yeah. I think you nailed it on the head. I can relate to that. I remember, my times when I had got back from Iraq, and I with my first marriage, and struggled extremely hard, and I separated. I did exactly that. I didn't feel. I felt alone. I felt like the world was just crushing in on me. And I was. Everything was like crumbling to the ground around me, right? And I didn't know what was going on. And you're just doing what the VA tells you. Keep coming back, keep taking the medicine, keep coming back, keep taking the medicine, right? We're gonna make you right there, Sergeant. Well, next thing you know, you got a gun in your mouth, and what's next, right? Yeah. And I think through what VetTv does, what Grunt Style does, what Reverend Warriors does, we understand that, 'cause we've all been in those situations, and we bring that side of things. Now, are we there yet? And maybe I'm not there yet, and I know my empathy, right? I come from my grandfather was one of those gentlemen that taught me, hey man, don't show your feelings. You bury that sheep deep inside you, and you have to die.
That should be your fucking self, buddy.
Right. Right. But this is an old World War II vet, right? That you'll see some of the most crazy shit flying over Holland and places of that nature, right? So it's understanding where the generation factors come from. But at the same sense, like between these companies and other beautiful companies out there are doing the same thing. You're looking at BRCC, you're looking at Nine Line, you're looking at all these companies. Even down to the startups that are happening in the community, from the coffees to the apparels to all these other businesses. You're seeing them all put their attention into the mental health of our community, because it is so goddamn important. Like I can't imagine. I'm almost terrified, Donnie, to understand what the numbers are. That whenever they're done compiling it, how many veterans in 2020 committed suicide because of the environmental factors of just COVID, on top of the things that they've been struggling with, right? And I hope that your product, I hope that our product, I hope that the product of other businesses saved at least one life last year, right? And the things that we talk about and the things we bring forward. That's my big thing. And looking into the alternative therapies, I want to take that adventure with you. I want to share that experience, and I want to tell other people, this is it. Like this is another way of trying to find yourself when you feel like you're walking in the darkness.
Yeah, 100%. I think it is so important for leaders in the community to acknowledge like what we had to become to fight wars and be great at them and to win.
Yeah.
And that mindset can never, ever, ever fucking be lost. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
That's what I want a Grunt's life to be a part of that, of reinforcing the warrior mindset, high performing, competitive mindset needed to win. And it's ugly. It's atrocious. It's impossible to have good mental health with that mindset, but you need it to win.
Yeah. Then
on the back end, we say, okay, you understand what it means to win wars. Now understand what it means to have a healthy, happy fucking life. Right. Have great relationships and a great family, and have goals ahead of you that don't have to do with warfare. Goals to make your fucking community and your country better than it was before. And I think all the conversations that you and I have had, both in private and in public, are so fucking important to spreading that message to our community and letting them know. And I think the fact that we're both infantrymen who have been to war, although your war experience was way crazier than mine. I always want to fucking stay humble. Hashtag stay humble. But nevertheless, I think the fact that we have that experience gives us a credibility, because otherwise we could very easily be written off by some others as, oh, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. You're just a bunch of fucking pussies, a bunch of hippies. It's like, no, we're actually warriors that know what it takes to win, because we've done it.
Exactly. Don't take my kindness as weakness there, pal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the empathy that we share these days, is that, I am empathetic to the fact of the things that people say to me, and I'm not going to murder you right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe that's self-discipline. I don't know. Maybe there's a blurring of the line.
A lot of it, nowadays it's crazy. When I see someone make some ridiculous comment on social media.
Yeah.
I think several years ago, it might have irked me a little bit at first, and then it went away. And didn't really care at all. But now when I see it, I often see the person who's making the comment.
Yeah.
And they're probably incredibly overweight with nothing going on in their life, sitting behind a computer, feeling a sense of empowerment behind their computer, because they never feel empowered when they're actually engaging people face to face.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them. They're just fucking, a lot of them are just pathetic fucks.
Yeah, you guys will never know the joy of living life.
Yeah, outside of the computer.
Absolutely. Oh man, that's great. So yeah, we talked a little bit about River Warriors.
Yes.
You got a lot of silky hikes coming up. 2021 is looking to be a very, very busy year for you guys. A lot of great things. Again, another partnership that is just doing so much for the community. Every time I've been to these, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger. The staff that you and Mama has put together is becoming more professional every day in every event, and the way that you guys just conduct business is incredible. Tell us a little bit about what the initiative this year is. What is the big goal, and what are some of the hikes that you got coming up?
Okay. Love that. Love being given the opportunity to talk about Irreverent Warriors. Did Dan tell you about the leadership retreat that we just did recently?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That was the fucking best retreat that we've had. And all of the retreats have been amazing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But like you said, we are getting more professional as we age, and we're attracting people that have more experience and more maturity who want to take a leadership role. And then those that have been with us since the beginning, and hundreds of people have been with us since the beginning in terms of leadership, but they are becoming more mature and experienced. And so the combination of just bringing in people that have more maturity and experience with the people who've been there, becoming more mature and experienced, it's creating an amazing environment, and standards are coming up.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really fucking impressive and just heartwarming to watch each of these hikes have a better and better volunteer team, that they're wearing t-shirts that say volunteer on them. And every one of these volunteers is given a checklist and a wristband that they're going out. Every one of them has their task, and they're registering people. And now we have swag bags and shit. So like you order your apparel beforehand. Yeah. And it's like, okay, thank you for checking in. Here's your wristband. Please go over here to this table, and you're going to pick up your t-shirt if you ordered one. And then you're going to get a bag that has these discounts to these other veteran-owned businesses. And it's like, I feel like I'm showing up to a fucking half marathon.
Right.
And because all these events, the Reverend Warriors Silkies hikes, they're like a cross between a half marathon, a bar crawl, and a parade.
Right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's a good way of describing it.
That hybrid is so fucking cool. But we're also decreasing the amount of drinking that's going on at the events, which means that more people are fucking remembering it, and more people are achieving the mission, which is to actually make connections with other people. Yeah. Like when you're blackout drunk, you might think you're having a good time, but you're not actually connecting with people because you're fucking blackout drunk. Yeah. And so everyone's putting a heavier emphasis on like, yeah, come have a good time, have a beer if you drink, but don't forget you're here to connect with people. And if you really want to blackout drink, do it tomorrow after the hike with a group of the people that you meet today. Right. Don't do it here at the hike. And so the quality of the experience at the events is getting cooler and cooler, and it's almost turning like into festival culture, which I'm so fucking happy about. Yeah. Because festival culture vibe.
This is the level of detail that I think speaks to the organization. Is you're talking 200, 300, 400 people, in these hikes, moving through, San Antonio, for example, moving through San Antonio, stopping at these, unique sites, and, you get to take in the scenery of everything there. And then you move on to the next site, a couple miles away, and you're just kind of bouncing all over the city. And this happens San Diego, Oceanside, happens all across the country. Right. But the common thing there that I've noticed in every hike that I've been at is the quality of everybody that, when you get to one of those stopping locations, right? That place always looks better after you guys move on to the next location than it did when you guys got there. Wow. Right? Because now it's transcending beyond just the fraternity of things. Now it's just taking pride in, in these cities where these things are happening, because majority of the people that are, like a Chicago hike, the majority of people coming to that are coming from Chicago. People are going to Oceanside, maybe a little bit different because you get the nostalgia. I love going to Oceanside because, I spent 2 years in Pendleton. So you get all walks of life from all over the country, but you're getting it to where they're now taking pride in their community, and they're leaving things better than they found it.
That's a really cool observation. I love that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. It speaks to the standards. Standards are coming up. The standard is like, we are not going to leave a mess here, right? We're going to come in here. We're going to have a good time. We're not going to blackout drink and fucking and butt chug fucking O'Douls. We're going to come here and have a fucking respectable time, share a lot of love and stories. And then when we leave, this place is going to look better than we found it. The standard is higher.
That's great.
Great point. I never even thought about that. So this year we got like 70 hikes on the books, man.
That's fantastic. How many did you do last year?
I think 40 something.
40. Yep. And yeah. So you're growing year over year, more cities, you're expanding the experience. American flag silky is a big one that you guys are gonna put in some attention to.
Yes.
What's different with the American flag silkies than the other silkies that are happening throughout the year?
Well, these silkies are so fucking soft. I mean, it's the American flag, but they're so incredibly soft. It's like the softest brand of softy silkies that I have worn. And we're going to come out with several other different styles of silkies. Like we've got one where like, it looks like you're wearing a thong.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then on the fucking butt cheek, it has the Wagner Loves Cock tattoo. And so, like, that's another pair of silkies that's coming out. American flag thong with the Wagner Loves Cock tat on the back. Yeah, so there's nothing significantly different about our traditional American flag silkies.
Yeah.
We're just going to fucking order way more of them.
Okay. Gotcha.
We're prepared to send them out to the hikes this year. And then we've got several other different styles of silkies coming out too, like pineapple grenades and guns and knives and all kinds of cool shit.
And where can people find those? At the Reverend Warriors website?
You can find them on both websites,
okay.
Warriors.com and shop.veterantv.com.
Good to go. And where is the July 4th silky hike this year? Are you guys doing one on that particular day or around that day?
I'm pretty sure we are. Is July 4th on a Saturday?
I couldn't tell you what next week would look like.
The 4th of July. No, the 3rd of July is actually the hike. And
okay.
We have a hike we actually do have one hike in Illinois on the 4th of July. Hopedale, Illinois, but then we have one in Lincoln, Nebraska on the 3rd.
Oh, there you go. Nebraska. Yeah. Coming to Nebraska.
Nebraska.
That's probably the one state in the union. That and Vermont is the two places I have not been yet.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have either. Yeah, neither have I. Interesting. By the way, I want to pick some silky hikes to go together with you.
Oh man, that'd be so fun.
And we should bring some cameras. We should record what we can, and at the very least, we could do a podcast together. Yeah. Because the new format for the VetTv podcast is I want the ability to take it on the road, because I'm going to go to a bunch of these fucking silkies hikes, and then we're also going to do. I'm going to be doing a book tour for our new book, which this is probably the good segue for that. Military Slang Dictionary. But anyway, so I'm going to be traveling a bunch, and I would love to plan at least a couple silkies hikes to meet up with you at. And this is what we got to do. We get in there, I don't know, Thursday or Friday, and we have some opportunity to explore the city on that Friday. Then we have a meet and greet event Friday night. Saturday, silkies hike all day, and then after party at night. And then on Sunday, we have some event where we get a group of people, rent bicycles, and we bike around the city, and we explore the beautiful city that we're in. I love using the silkies hikes as also an opportunity to see my country.
Yes.
And the greatest nation in the fucking world. I love to explore it. So every city I go to, I rent a bicycle and I just bike as far as I can on the Sunday.
You and me are so alike. It's almost scary.
Yes, we're doing it.
Yeah. I've had this thing in the past where when I've been at events for Grunt style, I would often slip away and people would find me hanging out with the homeless. And just kicking it with all the homeless people. I've done that in New York and Chicago a lot. And, but yeah, I'm definitely down for that. I love the idea of just exploring and meeting new people, and sharing the great words of what our brands are doing together, and the impacts that we're making. I would be absolutely honored to do something like that with you. It'd be fantastic.
Let's do it.
The military slang dictionary. John gave me a brief little look at it. My God, it is everything that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous.
Hey, well, you got the fucking bedtime stories book, okay? And that thing is brilliant. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, we'll take the dictionary, and then we got. I would love to collaborate on something together in the future. But the military slang dictionary. Oh, by the way, I do want to add though, we're twinsies, but we're a little different because I would be bunny hopping over the homeless while you're standing there talking to them.
Fair enough.
And so anyways, the military slang dictionary has all of the weird, funny words and acronyms that we use in the military that we learned as a part of our simulation into military culture. And we wrote the funny slang definition.
Right.
So not every, but a lot of the words themselves are funny, but the definition for every single one of them is hilarious. And so you read it and, it's not long fucking punches, but it's all giggles. Yeah. As you're reading each fucking word, you're like, oh shit, I remember that one. I remember that. Oh fuck, I didn't know that one. But we have all the branches.
Right.
So for me, it's a constant process to try and understand the Army better, being a Marine, but learning all their slang is fucking hilarious. And the Navy slang, the Navy slang probably cracks me up the most.
Yeah, I would have to imagine it's pretty colonial.
Yes.
that shit don't change. The Navy tradition. And I know that I'm gonna be getting all my friends that I've served with this for Christmas. When is the book available for sale?
I don't think it's going to be available for sale until mid-April, but okay. I need to get back to you on that. I believe April it's going to be released.
Fantastic. So we'll keep you guys informed on the military slang dictionary. You're going to want to get your hands on that one. Again, I saw a couple of proofs of it. It is beautiful. And
yes, thank you.
I don't blow smoke up people's ass. I think people will know me well enough now. It's good. I like it, and it's going to be on my coffee table here at Casa de Jensen.
Nice. We'll make sure that we get a copy to you. I still don't have a copy of the bedtime stories book because each of actually only 2 times, for being honest here. 2 times I went to buy it, it was sold out.
Yeah. Can't keep it on the shelves, but I got a couple extra for you personally. And I need to get out to Cali to see you, so I'll bring all the goodies.
Yeah, we need to plan a Cali trip. We'll have a bro date that weekend. Plan adventures all over this place. I got way more adventure spots than I did last time. Came out, and then we need to plan some silky hikes to go together. Invite a crew of people. Get a fucking Airbnb. Turn it into a 4-day goddamn rager.
There you go. I was just with Mike last night. Mike Phelps, from Texas. Hey. And we were going over, remembering our surfing experience with you.
Oh, yeah. And, Mike Phipps.
Yeah, Mike Phipps, yeah.
Oh, my God, I miss him so much. Where'd you see him?
I was in Tampa for the Military Family Leagues program. Mike and Scott Davidson, along with Chef Rush and a couple other business people and veterans, have come together to solve this food problem that's happening within our military, to where a lot of military families that are collecting BAH or married with dependents are on some sort of federal assistance program, to offset their not being able to put food on the table. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So they put this whole program together. We're going to be piloting it here in San Antonio in April. We're going to be servicing the active duty here in San Antonio. So you're going to be able to drive through our facility, our headquarters down 900 Broadway. And if you're an active duty, military member with family, we're going to get you a 1 month's box of non-perishable items for your home that you can, have some dignity and not use federal assistance. So it's pretty good stuff. I'm excited about it, and it's good to see Mike. I think that definitely next time when I surf with you, I'm going to shave the blanket.
Yeah, or throw a wetsuit on.
Yeah. One or the other.
And I'll get you a longer board too. That board wasn't big enough for you. You're
That's what she said.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Well, what other things you got cracking? I know we're coming up on the edge of this show, and I just want to make sure that you got a lot of things popping, a lot of exciting things happening at VetTv, a lot of exciting things at River Warriors, as we've all heard. I think we need to talk a little bit about a Grunt's life.
A Grunt's life it's going to shoot in September. Okay, season goes in September. I think you already know the plot of it. Murphy is trying to kill this tribal leader, as he fancies himself, who's also an informant to the battalion commander. And Murphy's trying to kill him, but the battalion commander won't let him because the guy keeps giving him Taliban, low-level guys.
Right.
And in the midst of Murphy trying to do that, which is the main storyline, then there's a bunch, each episode has a fucking crazy thing that goes on. One of the crazy things is an A&A guy who is calling one of the squad leaders, Matthias, the black squad leaders, calling him the N-word. And Matthias fucking pile drives him and turns him into a quadriplegic. And then the Marines, that character, he now becomes a comedic device for the rest of the show.
Oh, that's so good.
He's quadriplegic. They go find him a wheelchair out in town. The A&A guys don't give a fuck about him. In Afghanistan, if you become quadriplegic, paraplegic, or whatever, you might as well be dead to them.
Right.
Very, very primitive third world shit going on. And so they take care of him like it's their favorite fucking golden retriever. And and they stuff a 2x4 down his back so that he's like posted up kind of like a scarecrow. But then when the chaplain comes in, they put his arms out like he's Jesus Christ. And then the chaplain comes in. By the way, I think the chaplain is going to be Sean Dillon from Veterans Laughing Together. Remember the Vietnam veteran?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a good call.
We might make him that. And so his backstory is he was a grunt in Vietnam. I don't know if we're going to make him a sniper or not, but in Vietnam, he killed a lot of fucking people, like hundreds. And at some point, he decided that, that's kind of the story, is he became an addict. He was heavily addicted to killing, and he had to quit his addiction. Right. So the way to do that was to become a chaplain. And so post-Vietnam, he's been a chaplain. I think I want to merge a couple different stories that I've heard. Maybe we'll say that he was like homeless for a little bit after Vietnam. We'll that way, that's our opportunity to tell the story of how our veterans are treated when they came home from Vietnam.
Yeah,
right? So we'll include that in there. And then he gets back on his feet and he comes back in the service as a chaplain. And he's been doing that ever since. But what he does is he does these underground ceremonies where he goes around to the bases, and the ceremonies are for things like a Marine's first kill or a fucking tomahawk kill or a knife kill or a hand-to-hand kill, Right. And then there's ceremonies for a 40 mic kill. And then he also performs these oracle-like ceremonies where he makes a prediction as to what's going to happen to the wife or the girlfriend of a service member who just cheated on him recently. So if all over the battalion in combat, guys are when guys get a Dear John letter, and the people who know about this chaplain, they try to get him there to give this fucking oracle prediction about what happens to the woman. And sometimes it's like, it's not that bad, but whatever he says actually happens.
Oh,
So in this instance, I want him to say something like, "Oh, I see fire." Basically I want him to say that, she gets into a terrible car accident where her and her unborn child both die in a car that burns. They both burn alive because she's pregnant from this guy that cheated on her. And so he makes a prediction. And as the Marines are listening to it, I want to show guys actually crying. They're like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so glad he's here." They're crying as they're sitting in these pews. And I want to take some things, I'm a former Catholic, so I love ripping on Catholicism.
yeah.
We're going to set up the tent to kind of look partially Catholic, but then have elements of Marine Corps ceremony and plus old Greek mythology, and have some of Odin's, the god Odin, and some of his fellow gods, have some of that shit in there. So we'll do a hybrid of all that shit. And that is, I want to make that an actual thing in the Marine Corps. I want to fucking videos of groups of Marines performing ceremonies similar to the ones in the
God. That would be the ultimate, over.
So sick.
Absolutely. Oh God. Yeah, I can imagine. I see the chaplain with in your Catholic, kind of taking some Catholic items out of that. You got the guy whose wife or girlfriend is off doing other things now. And he's telling the story, and he's just swinging the sage over his head.
Yes.
Hitting him with some holy water.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so good. It's so good. So that's fantastic. If you guys have not seen A Grunt's Life, one, you need to. Two, it is probably one of the greatest works I've ever seen in relation to military comedy. That it hits everything that you've ever thought that went through your mind when you were in combat. They capture it in A Grunt's Life. And I think A Grunt's Life 2 is going to be, even better.
And take a shit up. One's going to look like a piece of shit compared to two.
Well, I don't know how that's going to happen, but knowing the minds over there and being involved in some of that writing process, it has the potential.
So do.
Absolutely.
So anyways, also when that films, I want to have so we're looking at sets, right? Like we got to build the battalion district center.
Yeah.
And the only set in existence that could facilitate that set for our show is Blue Sky Ranch or Blue Cloud Ranch, which is where a lot of the big war movies that have Iraq filmed. But a couple things. For one, thanks to COVID, that place is insanely booked up.
Oh, wow.
And two, the price is through the fucking roof.
Sure.
So that, based on our budget, we might not be able to afford that fucking place. So what does that mean? That means we got to build it ourselves. Well, who's going to build it? Well, I don't want to go hire a bunch of fucking, union guys who are going to rip me off from LA. I would rather put a call out to the community and say, hey, just literally have the images, have the designs made. Our guy, John Forsyth, he can create it digitally and say, this is what we're building. Yeah. And then put a call. Anybody who wants to do it, we're going to pay you fucking $150 a day. And then we're going to have some place, I think, for birthing and shit. I mean, this is all an idea that already our head of production, Levi, is just like, no, we're not doing that. I think there's a way to fucking make it happen.
So with him saying, no, we're not doing that, sounds like that's a brilliant idea and you should forge ahead.
So this is just dreams, but maybe there's some way to fucking make it happen if there's a hotel that'll give us a sick discount nearby. But I'm talking, we're going to need so many people here to build these sets. And a lot of it just might end up being filling fucking Hescos.
Yeah.
And so, I want to get the community involved in the creation of this product that is made for them.
That's great. That's brilliant.
So I don't know how to do it, but we'll come up with something.
Well, there you go. There you go. Grunt Life 2 on its way. So, if you guys are not members of the VetTv's platform right now, You can do it two ways. You can go there, you can download the app through any app store, $4.99 to get into the product, and you get access to all of the shows on the platform. Or you can go through Grunt Style and make purchase of any military licensed piece of apparel, get that free membership from there. Either way, you're going to end up paying $4.99 because you're going to love the product. You're going to love everything that's in the platform and the comedy that they bring to the table. Donny, thank you so much for everything that you do for our community, from Irreverent Warriors to the comedy that you produce on VetTv. You truly make this partnership a lot of fun. And seeing people smile is something that we talk about this a lot. Seeing people smile is the ultimate satisfaction, and you guys are doing that every day.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate all your words and all of your support and help that you've given to us over the years in our partnership. We're really fortunate. Keep doing great shit, man.
Thank you, sir. And we'll see you all again soon. We'll be back with Donny probably again here in a couple months, talking about some more things that they got popping. And till then, we'll see you soon, everybody. Have a great evening. Be kind to one another. Wash those thinking hands. We'll see you soon.